Hello. Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
Good afternoon, I guess, wherever you are listening or watching, depending on where you
Right.
are experiencing us. So nice to have you here. Thank you. Okay. So we actually thought of something to talk about this time.
We did.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so proud of us.
I know. Yay.
Sometimes,
Pats on the back.
sometimes it's really hard
It is.
to
Yes.
think, okay, what are we going to talk about?
And I just got back from, I'm going to just say, I just got back from a long weekend,
Mhm.
3, 4 days, I don't know. And I don't typically disconnect from spirit. That's not who I am. It's rare that so I know I've talked about it before, like sometimes you just have to 3D. However, even 3Ding, I'm still sort of connected. I'm still kind of paying attention and listening. To truly disconnect, that's a rarity for me. And I did for a couple of days. And when I reconnected, holy moly, it was like everything that Spirit wanted to tell me in all of that time just came rushing in. Yes. And so today I'm like, okay, ready. I mean, I've already, done a session and a class and whatever. So I've had things to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel a little kind of feel a little off, actually. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, I was just thinking last night, even after you got home, I had reached out for something for this week, and you're like, want to do it now?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, yes, please. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had been literally disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to Lake Chelan. It's in Chelan, Washington. Absolutely amazing. Vineyards everywhere. I don't know how many there are.
Mm.
And just sitting out, and I wasn't drinking. I usually partake, but I chose not to this trip. You sit in, I love any type of orchard. Maybe it's sort of, where we live. There's a lot of, especially east of here, there are a lot of orchards and stuff, and we
Mm-hmm.
live among, anyway, there's something very calming about them and really very spiritual in themselves. All of, just the rows and rows and rows of, in this case, grapes. And oh, it was just so amazing. I had just such a lovely time, just, and the good food. Oh my goodness. But just sitting there. And so
Mm-hmm.
I guess so, and you can tell me, Mari-Lyn, it's not necessarily that I was disconnected, maybe. I was more, because I was grounded. So I was connected to the earth more than like the higher realms, which I usually am. I mean, I'm usually both, right?
Right.
We ground and we connect. That's how but I just sort of cut off that higher realm piece. But I was certainly connected to spirit. I could feel spirit all around. It was
So
amazing.
I want to say that you really were not disconnected.
Right. I guess we're never really fully disconnected.
Especially you really are not ever disconnected.
Right.
But what's coming is that what you were is you were allowing your human self to lead
I got really hot all of a sudden as you start talking.
over your spiritual self. Usually your
Yes.
spirit self is calling the shots.
Yes, true.
And what you allowed was for your human self to be present and enjoy your time
Yes.
of reprieve.
Yes. It
Which
was
reprieve sounds kind of like being connected to spirit all the time is a chore, but
right. It is not.
it's not.
Yes.
But still,
Yes.
we need the human sometimes. And
Yes. And it was wonderful. And I feel like I said, I feel a little odd, like I'm, like I say, you and I talked last night and I connected right away and we did what
Yep.
we did. And then a class and a session today. Great. And usually I'm on kind of, I stay in that, there's sort of a level that I stay at, and I've dipped below that level. Still really grounded. I feel great, just not my usual sort of in my channel thing. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this works. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I have no doubt your channel is going to just go, "Whoa."
Whoa, as it usually does. Okay.
Usually does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just
All
got
right.
really hot myself. Whew,
Yeah, what the heck?
I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
Ooh,
Woo.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so last week I sent you a text.
You did.
I did. And talk about being in my channel.
This was
So
for
excited.
me,
Mhm.
it was just out of the blue.
Yep.
Because we hadn't been like actively talking, and this was just came out
Right.
of the blue.
Right. Because typically, I mean, we talk every day. That's not like
Mhm.
she didn't mean actively talking, like we haven't talked for a few days or something. That doesn't happen.
No, I meant real time when the text came.
Yes.
It wasn't in a conversation.
No.
It was just out of the blue, but perfect
Yes.
and beautiful. What you had sent to me was, you know how we ask the same question over and over again to spirit, and spirit gives us the same answer over and over again?
Mm.
The reason we get the same answer isn't because we're asking the same question. It's because we're in the same place we were in when we asked it the first time. When we change our circumstances and ask the question, we will get a different answer.
Yes.
My reply, I got to read my reply.
Okay.
Yes, that lands, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because I definitely ask the same question.
Yes.
And sometimes there's quite a period of time between questions.
Right.
The answer is the same.
Yes.
And man, that like hit me between the eyes of, what do you expect? If you haven't done anything to change absolutely anything,
Right.
why would the answer be any different?
Ooh, I have chills. I was just hot and I was fanning myself, and now I have chills and cold. But yes,
Yes. So
absolutely.
proof right there that we have to be an active participant
Yes.
in every aspect of our life.
Yes.
Because if we just sit and wait for spirit, that doesn't really give spirit any room to work.
Nope.
It's kind of like having expectations,
Right.
where we make our, our
Yes.
ideals really, really small and limiting.
And this goes into also, how many times do we hear, well, spirit never answers me, so I'm just going to stop asking.
Yep.
Spirit always answers.
Always. Always.
However, a non-answer or a no is also, those are also answers.
It is an answer.
However, but to add to that, whatever you want, whatever connector, we also, it's up to us to be in the vibration to be able to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
People often say, well, spirit's not talking to me, or spirit's not there, or how come I don't feel my spirit guides? Did they leave me? No, they didn't leave you. No, spirit is always there. That's their job, as a matter of fact. We come down into these lives with guidance. We ask, will you be my guide in this time? These are the things that I want to learn. These are, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're always there. it's up to us to make sure we are in a place where we can hear them, see them, feel them, know that they're there, whatever it is.
And granted, there are times where we just consciously don't know that. We don't remember that.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we remember, we become that information. I hate this word, enlightened. We become enlightened through that fact.
Yes, conscious.
We become conscious. That's a better word. We become conscious of it, but then we still forget.
Yes.
We still forget. That's part of being human.
Yes.
And especially if we happen to be in our wounding.
Yes. Oh.
It's easy. I know I've done it.
Yeah.
Pam, I cannot hear the answer. I cannot connect. My channel has blocked.
However, you know that they're there, that it's you.
I know that it's
difference, though. You know it's you.
I do know it's me. That's true.
Now, if any of you who have certainly worked with me and Mari-Lyn as well, but we have different teams that do different things. Does that mean Fred just like disappears on me if I'm working with one of my teams? No, he just backs out. It's not his, there's no input at the moment. So they can sort of back up or, and they can be all places at once. So, and they have other things to do. However, they're always there.
Always there. What I just got the picture of was you working with one of your teams and Fred's in the background being your cheerleader.
Yes.
Like, yay, she's listening to them. Or, oh, Pam, come on.
Yes. 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 Standing next to my dad. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's always there and always the cheerleader.
Always.
Our main guides are always cheering us on, encouraging us.
Yes.
Even sometimes making fun of us with the most passionate, loving vibration.
It's never mean, ever. Never. And it's always, I have never had a time when they made fun of me or made fun of something and I was like, now is not the time. Like I've never been in that place where I'm pissed that they just made fun of me.
No.
Ever.
Never. So I'm on a first name basis with Shane.
Shane.
Thankfully, Shane doesn't visit too often anymore. However, but I think this is a but. Never have I felt shame through any interaction with spirit.
No.
In that jovial, making fun of me. Oh, you did it again.
Yes.
You're gonna learn soon. Yep. Never is there a feeling of shame, which really blows my mind.
Yes. Now there are times when I didn't realize till after that they'll say something, I'm in a horrible place, whatever, and they'll say, and I'll start laughing. And you wouldn't look at that and think that would be the time to make fun of her or whatever, but they know exactly where I am at that point, and they can tease me and I will laugh, and that will help me get out of whatever it is that I'm in.
You know what? I love that you just said tease you. And I think teasing is a better verbiage than making fun of.
Yeah, sometimes it is making fun of, but yes,
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
But no, teasing is good.
Yeah.
It is a tease though. Because it's very kind and very sweet, very compassionate, and they're
never malicious.
No, oh my gosh, ever.
No,
it's never that way. Yeah. So for those of you, and I know everyone listening has had those moments where they're not listening to me. They're not here. And we blame it on them. And not that there's any blame to go around, but it's not them.
It's not them.
We're not in a place.
I want to touch really briefly on when we are in the lowest of vibrations.
Yeah.
And we are screaming.
Yes.
at spirit.
Yes.
Been there.
Yes.
Drunk. I mean, obviously, maybe not obviously, but for me, I have so many memories of just being just blotto and just screaming at spirit. In the moment, I felt so alone and so isolated.
Yeah.
Now, when I look back
Yeah.
and I kind of relive those memories,
Yeah.
man, I can feel spirit was standing all around me.
I want to cry.
I do too. Just
Yeah.
waiting.
Yes.
Just, we're here.
Yeah.
I'm
So
here.
patient. So patient.
So patient. There's also in those times when we are at that lowest vibration and we're not screaming at spirit, but we are calling to spirit.
Begging even.
And I can guarantee you, you may not realize it, but spirit is answering you.
Absolutely.
And if you have a memory of one of those times where you were so low and you were with humility just asking for help, you are going to remember how that help came across. I can guarantee it. Because even when we are at the lowest of lows, if our intentions are one of really asking for help, we get it.
And it can even be, because I getting that phone call from a trusted friend. And we're like, wow, you called at the exact time that I needed you to call. You know what? That was spirit nudging that friend.
Exactly.
You weren't hearing them, but you're going to hear that friend. Yes. Or whoever or whatever, whatever it is that you need. Yes.
Sometimes it's even going to be a video popping up on your feed.
Absolutely.
I don't know, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever.
Yes.
It is. It can be that simple. It can be a crisis hotline popping up in front of you.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So will you read that again? That text again?
Absolutely.
That wasn't me. Can you read Fred's text? It came from me, but that was Fred speaking. Without a doubt.
Oops, not there. Gotta go here. Yep. You know how we ask the same question over and over again to spirit, and spirit gives us the same answer over and over again? The reason we get the same answer isn't because we're asking the same question. It's because we're in the same place we were when we asked it the first time. When we change our circumstances and ask the question, we will get a different answer.
Yes. Yep. And that really lends to, as you were talking, that lends so much to so many parts of our life. So many parts of our life. Why is it that every time, like I see someone at work, why is it oh my God, this person calls every time, the same questions, the same whatever. Think about that. They are in the same place. How can you change that? Or how can you, maybe it's your vibe. Okay, this person calls every time and it's like, oh my God, I have to tell you again the same freaking question, the same answer I have to give again. Well, what if I look at that differently and say, oh, maybe my answer needs to be different. Maybe I need to come at it sometimes just changing the verbiage, same answer, but you just change the verbiage just a little bit and the person goes, oh, I get it. That happens a lot in classes or sessions with people.
It does.
That's a lot.
It does. even in conversation, right? One of us can say something and the other one says something else.
Yes.
But the meaning is exactly the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we process things so differently.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right. When we're dealing with someone who keeps asking that same question, we have the opportunity to change the vibration of the whole scenario.
So the question would be, well, then why doesn't spirit just say it in a different way? They do, but it's the same answer. Because I was just thinking, well, yeah, sometimes say it different, but sometimes there is no other way to say it.
Sometimes there isn't. But if we're in the same place, we're in the same vibration. If it's the same answer, we're going to hear it the same way.
The same damn way.
Yeah. We have to change our vibration. We have to change something. We have to be in motion in some way.
In motion.
Whether it's physically in motion or emotionally. Spiritually, open to hearing another answer.
Yes. What's coming now is there are people out there right now listening who are, okay, let me get this straight. What's happening here? So they're putting in kind of terms that I can understand for me. So we had, as you all know, a paranormal YouTube channel. And so someone out there needs to hear this, and I hope you do hear it. We started with reaction videos. And I know we've talked about this before, but we found ourselves at some point, the last 6 months of it, probably, we didn't like them. We only did it because that's what the channel was, and that's what our viewers wanted to see. And we got so far away from really who we are. We had to stop and regroup and say, okay, we're only putting out these videos of what we do. We only now put on healing, clearing videos.
Right.
Many people dropped off. They don't want to see it. They only want to see the reaction videos. They don't want to see us in this other way. They don't want to see spirit any other way than what they believe spirit to be. That the paranormal is just for entertainment. They just want to know what's going on. That's it. They don't want anything healed, whatever.
Right.
So if whoever's out there listening who is feeling really bored in their life, feeling very like they go to work, they come home, they do this, they do that, like it's the same thing all the time, we give you permission to look at that and change what you're doing. What is it that most of the time, I'm not going to say, well, I mean, definitely most, 90-something% of the time, we're doing it for other people. We have locked ourselves into this give and take with other people. Sometimes it's one person, sometimes like us, it was thousands. Hundreds.
Literally,
whatever. And we locked ourselves in. And was there fear? We knew when we stopped, we were going to lose people. We knew it. It was like,
we did.
That's going to happen.
And it still sucked.
It still sucked. We are now above. We gained them all back plus above.
Plus.
Yes. And we're going. People are getting our message now. Had we not decided to make that move, had we not decided to change the trajectory and to do what we love and stand in what we love, and if you don't like what I'm doing in my life, that's your problem. You can go. Right. We'd still be miserable. We'd be more than miserable.
Oh my gosh.
We would be so beholden to other people because it was already miserable. And I can't imagine what it would be like now. But there's so many.
I can't either.
No.
No.
So many of you out there listening that that may not be the exact scenario, and most likely it isn't, but there's some scenario happening in your life. You are doing it for other people, and you're at the end of your rope. Matter of fact, I think you've let go and you've just resigned to, I guess this is my life. And it is not your life.
Oh, and they're hanging with the rope around one ankle.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really at that point, just somebody cutting that rope and letting you fall sounds really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
And do yourself a favor and cut the rope yourself.
Yeah. Let you be in charge of your life.
Yeah.
Because it's your life. It's not anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So anyway, someone that needed to come up, and you know, and we're happier than ever now with our channels, both our channels. Yes, and we're growing and we're reaching new people, because it's really about our message that we're trying to put out.
Right.
Yes, and it's reaching more people. We get we don't get as many, we still haven't got up to the amount of comments, or we still get a lot of emails, but we still haven't got, but we will. However, even without it, we are so much happier because we're doing what we love to do.
We are standing in not only who we are, but we are standing in our power.
Yeah.
In our belief.
Yes.
Standing in our trust. Yeah.
So I would ask all of you, are you standing in your belief system? Are you standing in your power? Are you leading the life that you want to lead? So yes. Now I understand, for those of you, I was a stay-at-home mom for a lot of years, and and it was a double-edged sword being a stay-at-home mom. It is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And I thankfully always had a husband that said, you know, when they're raised and they're gone and they're off in their own life, you have the whole world laid out in front of you. You can do anything you want. You will not be held back by anything. That was the trade-off for me. It was a beautiful trade-off. But it's the same kind of thing like we did with the videos. I wasn't in that place of just hating every day, but I wanted to go live my life for me. But I had people to think about that were in my charge. But I knew that wasn't going to last forever. They were 18. They went out the door to college. I was done. You know?
And there are compromises and there are sacrifices that we do make in life.
Yes.
To benefit other people.
Yes.
However,
yes.
When those sacrifices become detrimental to ourselves.
Yes. Or that martyry thing that happens.
Ooh.
Yes. Ugh. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was something. Someone need to hear it, and I appreciate. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing that messaging through for someone or someone's. Maybe there's more than one.
I'm going with that.
Maybe I just needed to hear it for me. Yeah. But yes. So Spirit always answers. There it is. That's what this podcast is really about. It's Spirit always answers us. Always. So.
There's so much responsibility on us for hearing.
Yes.
Receiving. I don't want to say hearing because
we don't all hear.
We don't all hear.
Maybe that's what we should talk about too, but go ahead.
Well, I think that's a really good point. It's something really beneficial to talk about because I say hear, and literally I mean receive.
Yes.
Because even the way I hear isn't like you're hearing my voice right now.
Right. No. And the way I hear isn't the way you hear.
No.
Anybody, it's different for everyone.
So I'm just curious right now, how many people are receiving and they aren't aware enough to realize it
Right. Yeah.
because they're ungrounded,
Oh,
because
oh,
they're not
oh,
only ungrounded, they're out of their bodies.
yeah. Yes.
They're so wrapped up in,
Or here's one. They think
yeah,
that it has to come in a certain way. I'm only going to believe it if it
yep,
comes this way.
I have to see it, I have to hear it,
Yep.
I have to be able to touch it.
Yep.
Yeah,
I have to see that move across the table or I don't believe it. Well, good luck with that. That's not the way.
yeah,
And part of it is trust. You have to, like, spirit's not always going to give it to you. If you said, move this lipstick across the table and I'll believe it. Spirit's just gonna laugh and say, whatever. Like, no. But I'm gonna ring this bell in your ear right now and you don't hear it. Because nope. There was just a bell out of nowhere in my ear. But damn it, if it's not that lipstick rolling across the couch, that's it.
that's it. Yep.
Now we hear that stuff a lot. I apologize to some of my students or clients whom I've laughed at, but not really them. I guess it's the situation, because they're like, I don't get any answers. They're not talking to me, whatever. And then you ask them, and they're way too specific. I want it this way, and they cut out everything else that is going on. And I'm like, oh my God, you just got 5 messages and you just negated every one of them.
Yep. That
Very
kind of falls in line with, I don't know what to do.
yes. That's a
I've
big
been there. I
Yeah.
have been there so many times.
Yes.
I don't know what to do. And you just look at me. Yeah, you do.
You do. Yes, you do. But it's usually hard. It requires something of us, and we don't want to do that thing that it requires us to do.
And a lot of
Whatever it
times that requires looking in a mirror
Yes.
and looking deep,
Yes.
looking deep.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens. And messaging comes in all sorts of ways. So I do want to, a lot of times you'll get a 3D answer. A lot of times, like, you'll see like a sticker on a bumper sticker on somebody's car, or you'll see a sign that says something, or whatever. Like, there's a lot of 3D. They bring us 3D signs constantly, or the numbers on the clock, or whatever it is. That happens all the time. They make it so clear, and we just go, no, that can't be. Oh, what a coincidence.
Coincidence.
Right.
Yep. Coincidence.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Even Mari-Lyn and I, who are connected, we can hear, see, feel, know. All our clairs are up and running, and it still comes in a 3D form.
Oh yeah.
It'll still come 3D.
Yep.
Yeah. So look for those things, and
yeah.
because we always get they're giving us answers all the time. They give us answers all the time.
Answers and affirmations, confirmation,
yes, validation,
insects,
yes,
animals,
yes.
birds.
Even what's coming now is, so we have this little wooded area that we walk through, and I might see a bunny run across the trail, and it's really easy to say, oh, well, these woods are full of bunnies, so like that was a message. Well, you know what? How many others did you see on your path? You've been out here for 15 minutes, and that was the first one you saw. So maybe that could be a message, or whatever. Even if it's, work your own scenario in there. But those are all answers. Those are all spirit saying, I'm here. I mean, we're all created by spirit. So everything has a soul. Yeah.
sometimes those very simple messages are just a reminder to be aware, a reminder to be in gratitude.
I was just going to say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Be in gratitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we need to be in gratitude more often. We really do. I try my morning routine as I wake up before I get out of bed, and I thank Spirit for the good, the bad, the ugly in my life. Everything in my life. What? Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. She
This
starts.
is not a good time.
Okay, Mari-Lyn's getting the giggles.
Damn. What I heard was, oh my gosh, I wake up before I get out of bed.
Is that what I said?
That's what I heard. I don't know what you said after that, because
I'm really glad that I wake up first before I try. I just hit the floor.
it struck me so funny.
That's how I get out of bed, and I hit the floor, and that wakes me up. And then I could have said it that way. I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I heard. And
well, I think I said before I get out of bed in the morning, I wake up. So I did say that, but it wasn't in the context that you.
that's not how I heard it. Oh my God. So funny. There's absolutely something I needed to release, because, that Spirit does that for me.
Yes.
Spirit will bring me laughter to help move energy through me. I'm not really sure what needs to go, but
Spirit drunk. She's spirit drunk.
Spirit drunk.
Yes. I'll take spirit drunk as often as possible. That's a good drunk right there.
That's the only drunk.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good one. So I wake up in the morning, and before I get out of bed, I lie there and I say my gratitude. Yes. And I do. Thank you for everything. I would not be who I am today without all the trauma, the wounding, the struggles, the joy, the laughter, the friendship, everything. Everything is part of who I am and how I'm moving through life. And I now get to do everything I want in life. I've kind of, there's that, like paid your dues, and that's what it should be after 50. I'm just saying, after 50 years old, you should be able to, and if you're not at that place, I understand. And I'm not trying to shame you or anything. What I'm saying is, we spend our life getting traumatized, living in that trauma, expressing that trauma, healing that trauma. And there has to be a day when you can walk out of that and find the joy in life and find true meaning and your purpose here. And typically that's after 50. Some amazing people really, of course, I started long before I was 50, but to get to where I am now, that was a long road. But I'm so grateful for all of it, and being able to do what we do. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also do gratitudes. I do it as I'm falling asleep when I go to bed.
Yes.
That's how I end my day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's important for me to consciously recognize everything that I'm grateful for, because it's really easy to forget.
Yes.
It's really easy to fall into taking things for granted, being feeling entitled.
Oof. Yes.
It's really easy to fall into that, even,
or just kind of not recognizing that it's a blessing. Whatever we're doing is really a blessing. Just not putting that period on it.
Yeah.
Not seeing it.
Just being da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well.
What that brought up for me is those people, those amazing people, this doesn't happen to me very often, who get so much messaging through dreaming. I think that's amazing. Yeah, you get a lot of messaging through
I
dreaming.
get a lot of messaging through
Yes,
dreaming.
I do not. And so everyone is, I guess that's part of it too, is we're also different. Yes.
Mhm.
And I did want to say, for all of you, again, we talked about this before, but it's okay to talk about it again, is not everything comes through your clairs. So we all have our physical that word, sense.
Senses.
We also have those same senses that are energetic or psychic, whatever way. I tend to say energetic, but
I prefer energetic because it's more rounded.
it is.
Opens up the
Yes.
possibilities for what it actually means.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And clair means clear. So clairvoyance is clear seeing, clairaudient is clear hearing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the way down the line. You don't have to necessarily be psychic to receive information. Just pay attention. And that sounds so awful. I didn't mean to sound so accusatory when I said that or whatever I said. But not everyone, clairvoyant seems to be the thing that everyone wants to be. Everyone, because in every movie,
seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing. And in every freaking movie that there's a psychic, she sees something and she's always weird and she spins and has, like her eyes, whatever. They're always so crazy. But we don't I'm not clairvoyance is not my first class. It's like third or fourth down the line for me. Mm-hmm. It's getting in touch. It's stop expecting it to look, see, hear, feel, know, whatever. Yep. In that particular way. It's those damn expectations that we need to stop.
Yes.
Yes. And you're going to get them other ways. We all get messaging all the time, very physical 3D. Someone needed to hear that again. Maybe it was me. Mm-hmm. We all need to, yes. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I think I'm feeling done. How are you?
I'm good, but there was something I was going to say and it left. So maybe I wasn't.
I interrupted you as always.
No, I was going to interrupt you and I didn't.
See how nice you are. So nice. I am not that nice.
And it's gone. And I'm only can surmise that it wasn't important.
That's part of why I keep a paper here with a pen, because believe it or not, I don't interrupt you every time. And imagine that, because I do interrupt her a lot, right? And I could do a hell of a lot more. But it's also how I have a brain that works overtime, so I have to do that. And I write things down all the time. But
yeah. Whew. So, well, before we say goodbye, I want to bring it back around to that original text of
yes,
asking the same question, getting the same answer, yes. And it's because we haven't budged.
Yep.
We are, for whatever reason, we're just staying put. And we need to expand. We need to be in motion in some way.
What is it that's saying about beating your head against the wall and expecting, to like not get a headache this time or whatever? It's like, that's the same thing. If we're sitting there in that same position, you might as well just beat your head against the wall.
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility for yourself.
Responsibility is exactly what I was going to say earlier.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Spirit.
Yep. Thank you. We have to.
Yes. We are responsible for our life.
We are.
We are responsible. Take responsibility. Accountability sometimes, a lot of times.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. And change your situation. Shift yourself.
Shift in some way.
Yes.
Here's a segue into another podcast at
Oh,
another time.
I'm gonna write it down. Yes, ma'am.
Please don't become codependent with spirit.
Oh.
Please don't put aside your own personal responsibility for your life.
Yes.
And
Nope.
and attempt
Yes.
to rely on spirit to do everything for you.
Correct. Here's a little codependent scenario.
Okay.
Someone asks you to do something and you begrudgingly do it and wish they would just go away.
Yep.
There's some codependence going on there. Like you
Yep.
keep doing it every time. You are doing the same thing without telling that person, without taking responsibility for the fact that you are doing it every single time.
Yep.
Why are you pissed at that person?
Yep.
You're the one accepting it and doing it and following through.
Yep. Now that happens once.
Right.
There could be extenuating circumstances.
Sure. Right.
And but it's that repeated over and over and over, and the resentment grows and the anger grows and the self-pity grows.
And will that person be pissed off when you cut them off finally? Yes, they will. Because you have trained them to do that. You have trained them to always come to you with that problem. So now it's like, well, what the hell, man? You do it every other time. Why are you stopping now? Doesn't mean that's going to be some big explosion, but I do think the person doing it, that's part of their fears. That person's going to leave. That person.
Sure.
So
well, that's why we become codependent, right?
Yes. 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 And
that's why we become codependent, because the fear of that perceived reward of love and acceptance. Well, if that's what it takes to be loved and accepted, are you really loved and accepted?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
It starts with yourself too. And that also with paranormal, which is also spirit.
Yeah.
We see people almost every time that are so codependent with the ghosts in their home. Yeah. That is such a codependent relationship. Trying to get people to hear that is really tough.
Yeah.
You are being codependent. You are making this ghost, this earthbound spirit, this spirit who only, we're going to go here. Okay. An earthbound spirit, someone who's stuck. We call them stuck, right?
Yep.
They do not have joy. They do not have love. They do not have any of that in their life. They are not in a vibration that can hold that. What they have is diminished capacity to think, because they're not in this body with a brain. They are not in the higher realms with full consciousness. They are stuck. And they live off the energy of others. So codependence with the spirits are codependent with the living people, and the living people become so codependent. It is amazing how often we see that. It is so amazing. And times a lot of people don't realize it. So it's not like we're going in going, oh my God, you're so codependent. Stop that. That's not it at all. We have a lot of compassion for people. It's a very strange situation to be in, to have an entity living in your home and you become reliant on it and you're thinking about it all the time. You wake up, wonder what it's doing. Oh, I have to go into the bathroom. That's usually where it is. It feels so familiar and it becomes like home. It becomes like a person, a friend. So many people, after we clear their homes, they go through a period of grief.
Oh boy.
And what was it that you said? You said it beautifully. It's like you lost, like like you forgot your purse. Like there's this feeling like I lost.
Oh yeah. What did I forget?
Yes, what did I forget, or what
What
am
did
I
I
missing?
forget?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes,
something's off.
something's not
Almost like,
there.
that feeling of, did I forget to turn off the burner?
Yes,
It's like that type of
yes, yes,
what did I forget in
yes,
urgency?
yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. Now we just had this happens, it's not like it's the first time, but we recently had someone who reached out to us and wanted, we actually had our students clear her home, because if you put it, so we will clear your home if you allow us to put it on the channel. If not, then we give you to our advanced students, and they are amazing. So they get the job done. Trust me, they're very good. Oh, I lost it. There was something. Oh, she didn't understand. That's what it was. She didn't understand, because she could send them away and they would go, but they'd come back. And she was really confused. How could we get them to stay gone? Well, it's because we cross them over to the higher realms.
Right.
When you just send something out the door, they're just either going to come back, which mostly that's what happens, or they go to the neighbor's house, or they go somewhere else. They're not healed. You have not healed them. So crossing them over to the higher realms is the compassionate thing to do. Even the ones who are wreaking havoc on you, those ones, everyone that every entity that we come in contact with, no matter how dark an entity that is, no matter how low the vibration, they have a chance to heal
Every time.
So
sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't.
Yes.
However, when they don't, we still don't
just
banish it, send it out into the world to go wreak havoc somewhere else.
No.
They are
taken by very high vibrational beings who that's their job, is to help those souls. Yes. Sometimes the soul needs a human person like us to help them, and sometimes there's just nothing we can do. But they always get that choice, and we send them away because they need to not be torturing living people.
Exactly.
Or any spirit. Any soul. Any
people. Yes. Living, non-living.
Yes.
Human, non-human.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, so why is the paranormal do it? But that's spirit too.
It
People
is.
don't think of
all spirit. It's all spiritual. It's
paranormal is spiritual too.
This journey.
It's really sad. I mean, part of why we started the channel, even when we did just reaction videos, was to get new verbiage out there, get a new perspective. The ghost hunting perspective is just so wrong. It's wrong. It's not correct.
Yeah, I'm good with saying wrong.
Yeah,
good with saying wrong. And I remember the moment when ghost point of view came into existence.
Yes.
In our old space.
Yes.
And it was brilliance. Absolute brilliance.
Yes. And I don't regret any videos that we did. I regret no one that we've come into contact with. I don't regret any of it. It was just time for us to level up and move on and do something more fulfilling for us. Because it really was very fulfilling at first. It wasn't like we no. But okay, that's another time that we listened. Spirit had been trying to get us to pivot.
Yes.
And we did not listen. We let our ego say no, because we'll lose viewers, we'll lose this, we'll lose that. And so we stayed with something that made us uncomfortable, or something that we didn't like, out of fear.
Yep.
And the whole time Spirit was saying, it's time for you to put your healings, clearings online. It's time. And we negated it.
Yep.
So
we
even
did.
we don't listen all the time either. And we got pretty clear messaging, but we let our fear get in the way. I don't know
We
why.
did.
They're so well received. What were we so afraid of? I don't know. I think so.
Judgment, criticism, judgment, criticism.
Yes, and we get less now than we did then.
True.
Yes.
It's so true.
Yes. And our
So
fear
true.
of, we were not raised with YouTube and electronics and different
Well,
social
this is
media.
very true.
We weren't raised with any of that. And so it is a little
Vulnerable. It's
vulnerable.
super vulnerable.
Yeah. To
Super,
walk into that because that was just not what
yeah.
we weren't raised that way in that.
No,
So
not at all.
anyway, I don't think we've said this for a long time, so I'm going to say it. We are multidimensional energy healers. No matter which plane you live on, we give
We
healing.
can help.
We can help. Yes. Our energy healings are really sent by spirit. We work with spirit. We're just the conduit.
Absolutely.
So, of course, we do paranormal work, which is all about healing. But we also do personal healings.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's what else do? I mean, we teach, we do stuff, but
This, and this is all changing. But the spiritual awareness, spiritual growth, energy
yeah,
awareness,
yeah.
that's something that I offer.
Mhm, mhm.
But it is
In very
changing
different ways.
very different ways. And we've talked about it for a while that our website is going to be changing.
Yes.
It hasn't changed yet.
But we're really doing it this time, I swear.
But we are in the process of making changes. It just hasn't all gone
Yep.
live yet. So please watch for the new things and the new changes
Yes.
that are coming.
Yes. TCSEverydayPsychics.com.
Yeah.
Yes. And even the consciousspirit.net. That'll get you to
Yes.
I mean, you can still find us through that too, but
Yep. Consciousspirit.net, that takes you right to the podcast. And you can find the podcast
anywhere.
I think anywhere, everywhere that a podcast can be. I think we are there now.
But you can watch us on YouTube if you want.
Yes.
Yes. And please subscribe, like the videos, all of that. Of course, the meditations are there that I still put out weekly. And then occasionally I throw in a special. And these are not your regular meditations. We hear from people all the time.
No, they're not.
Matter of fact, I had my student that I had this morning. She was like, "Oh boy, did that one kick my ass," in a good way. It's like it brings up stuff that is time to look at,
and that's their intention.
That's the intent. Yeah.
Fred is the ultimate healer.
Yes, he is.
And
yes, he is.
Brings healing meditations.
Yes.
And the opportunity to heal and to grow.
We have Mari-Lyn has her sobriety podcast that she'll be getting back into now. She kind of took a break for a minute.
I did take a break for a minute, and I don't think I mentioned this to you, but I did get some messaging yesterday that they're not all going to be the same.
Oh,
they're not all going to be strictly podcasts. Some of them will be different than a podcast. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. We look forward to,
because the other words don't want to come out of my mouth yet, because
right,
it makes me vulnerable.
Yes.
And y'all know I could be vulnerable, but there's
and and that's a really good thing, even if you do not suffer from everyone has an addiction to something. I'm going to say that. I think
agree.
Everyone has something they're addicted to. Watching those videos that Mari-Lyn does, just seeing her sitting in that vulnerability is really inspiring.
Thank you.
It's very inspiring. Because like, okay, whew, if she can do that on this channel and people that we don't even know are watching,
All
I
over
should,
the world.
yes, I should be able to just do this.
All over the world. Yeah.
I should be able to do it. So, yeah.
And that doesn't mean it's easy,
Hell no. No, no.
but it's worth it. It's worth the effort and the fear and the comfortability
Yeah.
of wherever you are is nothing compared to the relief and the joy that comes from going through it.
And really, whatever your addiction is, it doesn't matter what it is.
Mm.
To know that this woman sitting here, my bestie, stopped drinking. Hello, you can stop whatever it is that you're doing. You know, let that inspire you to shift gears, to just a path of sobriety, however that looks for you, whatever that is. And we all have something. We all have something.
Yep.
So,
and they're not all life
threatening.
Thank you.
Yes.
They're
No,
not all
they're
life
not.
threatening.
But they all suck the life out of you.
Yes.
Every
Well
one of them.
put. Very
Yes.
well put.
Even just,
Every addiction.
you could
sucks
be
the life.
addicted to your phone. A lot of people are so addicted to just whatever app they're looking at. And that's actually, TikTok is meant to get you addicted. That is meant. We don't do TikTok at all. We don't even look at it. But that's what it's meant to do. Short clips, really fast, and they go on, you know, one right after the other, after the other, after the other. That's meant to be addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it is. Woo boy.
And for people who are prone to addictive behaviors,
Yes.
whoo, man, that's a slippery slope.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's anything, absolutely anything we can become addicted to. Even good things. Exercise. Yep. We can become addicted to exercise. Yep. And that type of addiction isn't healthy.
No.
Even if it's a good thing, anything that becomes an addiction has become counterproductive.
To that, well, I think with exercise, it's that adrenaline rush, right? It's the adrenaline, I think, or just seeing how your body's changing or something. I don't know. Clearly, I'm not.
I do not have that. Do not have that issue.
No, I do not have that addiction.
Don't know.
By any means. No.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
thank you all for tuning in and listening.
Yes.
We appreciate you all.
We do.
Reach out anytime.
Yep.
Ask
Again,
questions.
Yep. Email us through the website, tcseverydaypsychics.com. Comments. We welcome your comments on the YouTube channel.
Yes, please do. So.
Yeah.
All right.
See you next time, I guess. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.